Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Welcome back to my Until Dawn Everybody Dies Douchebag Edition walkthrough. We are moving on to episode 7.
Mike, is that you? Shh. What? Get over it.
So anyway, you're going to be thrown into Sam's position. If you remember back in episode 5, she got caught by the psycho. Now, of course, if you ended up escaping the psycho, that's okay too. Things are just going to play out slightly differently. But for the time being, since Sam did get caught by the psycho, we're just going to meet up with Mike here, who was kind of navigating around the tunnels under the sanatorium when last we saw him.
Thank God you found me.
It's okay. Okay. You're okay?
Oh my gosh, your fingers, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm the lucky one.
Jesus, what happened?
Yeah, so if you remember back in episode 5, I chose to intentionally get Mike caught in that trap.
Listen,
and he had to cut off his fingers.
He attacked me. He showed me these videos too. And one of them showed Josh being killed. Just ripped apart by this huge fucking saw blade.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck is going on around here? There's a door here. It won't open. Can you unlock it from your side?
Alright, so anyway, yeah, if you remember, both Sam and Mike, they've kind of led interesting paths here because these are the two characters that have kind of been doing things on their own. Like, Chris and Ashley have kind of been sticking together. Matt and Emily were sticking together for a while. Mike, he lost Jess a while ago, so Mike, he did the whole, episode 5 by himself. He explored the whole sanatorium by himself. Sam, on the other hand, she was taking a bath the whole time, and all she's really done is be chased by the maniac. So Sam literally went from having a fun night, taking a bath, to, holy shit, I'm being chased by a maniac. She gets knocked unconscious, and now here she is just in these random tunnels under the buildings.
Nice to see you too.
But anyway, guys, episode 7 is a fun one. This is where a lot of things get revealed.
Well, actually, the towel didn't turn out to be the best outfit for fighting off killer maniacs, Do you mind, Mike?
Oh,
Okay,
right.
So anyway, yeah, like I was saying, if you recall, Sam, if you happen to escape the maniac because you didn't shoot the squirrel way back in episode 1, if you happen to escape the maniac, this same thing is going to play out nearly identically. Sam still gets chased by the maniac. She just doesn't get caught, but she still ends up meeting up with Mike, and then from here on out, pretty much everything remains the same. And so it's definitely interesting because you would think that getting caught by the maniac would have things play out entirely differently, but as you can see, that's not really the case.
No! No! Get away!
Oh, Chris. Oh, Chris.
What the fuck?
You've heard of blanks before. I mean, really?
Alright guys, so what's going on? What is going on? If you haven't played this game before, that was the big reveal right there, and I didn't want to talk during it, but we just saw that the psycho this whole time has been none other than Josh, one of the friends of the group, who seemingly died way back in episode, 4 or 5. Josh was in that trap with Ashley, and he was ripped apart by a saw blade because Chris chose to save Ashley. And so there's a couple things I want to talk about here, because what's going to happen is you're going to take control of Emily, and you're just going to have to make your way through the mines. There's really not a whole lot that you have to worry about. It's just simply navigating the area. So the first thing is you're wondering, how is Josh still alive? And basically, if you take the time to find all of the collectibles, a lot of the collectibles will reveal how Josh was able to pull all of this off. Now, you're still going to see later, but to just kind of give you a glimpse through some of the collectibles, and if you didn't happen to pick it up already, Josh's dad is like a big-time Hollywood director or Hollywood movie guy, and he makes a lot of horror films, and so they have a lot of, horror, masks and weapons and different, I can't think of the word, props, horror films. They have a lot of different props like that in their home, and they also, obviously, Josh probably knows how to pull off a few tricks, camera tricks that make things look real when they're really not, true. And so that kind of ends up being what the case is with that saw trap. And so the saw trap is just this elaborate scheme to make it look like Josh was killed, when in reality he got through the whole thing unscathed. And I think later on it's going to show you more in detail how that actually happens. But it's a really cool way the story played out. And the problem that I have, or the thing that I don't quite understand, and maybe you guys can get this, maybe you guys can understand this for me, but or really quickly, sorry, I had a point that I wanted to talk about and I couldn't remember it, but this is what I was talking about earlier in the walkthrough when I said that sometimes there are certain choices in this game that you have to make that seem like they're going to have severe consequences, when in reality they don't. And so the perfect example there is the trap with Josh and Ashley. No matter who you choose in that situation, if you choose to save Ashley, Josh is going to seemingly get killed. And even if you choose to save Josh, the trap will still just work in the opposite way, and Josh will still be the one that is supposedly killed. And so that's one of those things where you're given this choice. You're like, oh, who do I kill? And you think it's such a big decision, and then as it plays out, it turns out exactly the same. Josh will always be the one that you think is killed. Ashley will walk away unharmed, and then Josh will, come back later on as the psycho. Now, of course, there can still be some minor differences. For example, if you chose, or actually, I guess not. For that trap pretty much will play out the same all the time. And then a similar thing for the whole Sam thing. So you remember way back in episode 1, we shot the squirrel, and that had this huge impact on whether or not Sam was caught by the psycho or not. But then as I told you earlier in this video, it ends up not mattering. Either way, Sam is still, whether she gets caught by the psycho or not, Sam still ends up reuniting with Mike in exactly the same manner. And so that's another case where this trap that can really, or this choice that can really seem like a life or death choice, it ends up playing out the same way either way. And so it's interesting. I really like how the game works like that. So anyway, Emily's down here freaking out. She's deeper into these mines, deeper into the tunnels, finding bones and shit. But yeah, other than that, you're basically just gonna keep making your way down the path. It's really all pretty simple. And so the thing that I have problems with, the thing that hopefully maybe I'm missing something, maybe you guys can give me an explanation. But Josh is the psycho. We've learned that, and he's been putting his friends through absolute hell, killing them, potentially killing them, scaring them. And the whole reason, obviously, you can put 2 and 2 together. He thinks that the friends are responsible for his 2 sisters dying 1 year ago because they played that very mean prank on Hannah, and then Beth and Hannah ended up going out into the forest and never being heard from again. And so, on one hand, it's completely understandable why Josh would blame his friends for their deaths. And again, it's also reasonable to assume that he would want to get some sort of revenge on them. But the thing that I don't understand is why he's putting Chris through all of this. Because if you remember, if you go back to the prologue and episode 1, not only are Chris and Josh best friends, God, I'm stuttering a lot, but in the prologue, Josh is passed out drunk on the kitchen counter, and that's when the friends pull the prank on his sisters. Now, if I remember correctly, maybe I'm misremembering this, but if I remember correctly, Chris is also passed out drunk on the counter with Josh, showing that those two were probably drinking together and they both passed out drunk. And so Chris had no part of the plan. Chris had no part of the prank that killed the sisters. And so I don't understand why Josh is putting Chris through all of this as well, because if anything, he's been giving Chris the worst of it. He made Chris choose which friend to kill, Ashley or Josh. He made Chris choose, do I shoot myself or do I shoot Ashley, as we saw at the end of the last episode. Now again, that ended up being a pointless decision because there were just blanks in the gun. But either way, you still gotta wonder, like, all of these things are definitely gonna take their toll on Chris. Like, Chris is freaking out. It's gonna affect his mental health. It's gonna freak him out. And so I just wonder, like, why is Josh putting Chris through all of this when Chris had nothing to do with the prank? Now again, maybe I'm forgetting something. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe it wasn't Chris who was passed out on the counter. Maybe it was a different character. But if I remember correctly, it was Chris. And I don't know, maybe I'll have to go back and rewind that footage and look for myself. But I could have swore it was Chris who was also passed out on the counter. And so it just seems odd that Josh would be putting him through all of this. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I kind of hope I'm wrong, because then it's an easy answer to my question. But anyway, guys, let's jump back into the gameplay here. So we've been doing all this stuff with Emily, making our way through the mines here, and really none of it is that difficult. But what's going to happen now is we are going to have a bit of a confrontation. And as I've said, this is where the game really starts to pick up, and some of the decisions you make, they can have pretty important consequences. Now, at the end of the day, it's pretty easy to get these characters to die, but there are actually various ways that you can kill the characters. And there was a particular death that I wanted to get for Emily, which I'm going to show you, and the reason for that is, aside from there being a trophy for killing all characters, there is also various trophies for killing them in certain ways. And so for the most part, I'm trying to show you how to do some of those in here as well. For example, there's a trophy with Chris. There are numerous ways to kill Chris, and you're not going to see Chris die until I think like episode 8 or 9. But there are various ways to get Chris killed. But there is a trophy called Emily Snaps, and that's a specific death for Chris, and you can only get the trophy by having Chris die in that way. And so the way you do that, for example, is in the last episode where we were taking control of Chris and we had a choice to either shoot Chris or shoot Ashley. If you choose to shoot Ashley, she's obviously going to have some pretty hard feelings towards Chris. And so then later on in the game, when you are playing as Chris, there comes a point where Ashley has a chance to save Chris, and she chooses not to, and that's how you get the Emily Snaps trophy, or Ashley Snaps trophy. Gosh, I keep mixing up these characters' names. But there you go right there. There's some pretty imagery. That's Beth's head. So Beth is one of the sisters from the beginning of the game, Josh's sister, that got killed, that fell down here and got killed. So yeah, game's getting pretty dark. Alright, so make your way through this door here. You can see there's a sign on the wall pointing you towards the elevator, and that's exactly where we are trying to get. And this is actually a pretty short chapter. So after we're done with Emily, we're gonna go back to the events that are taking place with all the other characters. So Josh just revealed that he's the psycho, and as you can imagine, all the characters are gonna be like, you know, what the hell is going on? I thought you were dead. But before we do that, you can see here is this mysterious man. We've seen him a couple of times, and you're given this choice, or this opportunity to not move. And right here, the guy, he can either catch you or you can get away from him. Again, in the end, it's not really going to matter. But I decided to give chase either way, or anyway. So here we go. Emily's going to start running. I'm going to successfully press those QuickTime events. And then you're going to be given an option here. Well, first things first, you're going to light this oil on the ground, kind of create a little obstacle to buy yourself some time. But then as you continue to run away from this mysterious guy, you're going to be given a choice to either run or hide. You can choose either one. I think if you choose to run, it blocks you out from getting some of the collectibles at the start of episode 8. But obviously I'm not going for collectibles, and so that's why I'm going to choose the turn back option. So I was wrong. It wasn't run or hide. It was turn back or hide. And so here we go. I'm going to turn back. You can see this guy is going to close in on Emily, and it's going to leave us at a bit of a cliffhanger here. But if you do happen to be going for all of the collectibles, then you want to make sure to choose the hide option. But chances are you're not doing that because you don't want to go for all of the collectibles during the Everybody Dies playthrough.
After all you've been through, good. I mean, how does that feel, right? How does it feel? Do you enjoy feeling terrorized, humiliated? I mean, panicked? All those emotions that my sisters got to feel 1 year ago? Only guess what? They didn't get to laugh it off. No, they're gone.
I don't know if you noticed this, Josh, but none of us are laughing.
Oh, come. Why the long faces? Come on. It's good to get the heart racing every now and then, right? And race, they did. I mean, every one of you just pitter-pat. I hope you appreciated my little phantasmagorical spectacle. I mean, no detail too small, no opportunity missed. It was such a delight to play the puppet master to all of your Pavlovian panic. And all that gore, there was gore galore, fake bodies. I mean, God, that shit was expensive. And no retakes. Nope. Only double takes. Oh, you should have seen your faces. Hook, line, and sinker for every little stinker.
Josh, why are you doing this?
Yeah, don't even ask this squirrely little runt. He's got no clue. He's out of his fucking tree.
Well, he's definitely off his meds.
Oh, come on, you guys. Revenge is the best medicine.
You're done.
Mike, he's sick.
What? Come on, you guys are all gonna thank me when you guys become internet sensations.
Wait, what?
Oh, you better believe this little puppy's going viral, ladies and germs. I mean, we got unrequited love. We got blood. I don't think there's enough hard drives in China to count all the views we're gonna get, you guys.
What are you talking about, you asshat? Jessica's fucking dead.
What?
Did you hear me? Jessica is dead. You are gonna fucking pay, you dick!
Alright guys, so I didn't really want to talk during that last interaction because that was like the big plot reveal. That's where Josh revealed himself as the psycho, and he also, we got to see how he actually did it. So you saw what I was talking about with how Josh, his dad is this Hollywood horror movie guru, and he has all these props and know-hows of movie tricks and things like that. So you kind of got a glimpse there of how Josh was able to pull all of this off, how he was able to fake his own death, everything like that. But you can see there's some confusion because Josh is saying like, well, hold on a sec, I didn't kill anyone, I didn't kill Jessica, this is all just a big prank. And so once again, I'm actually going to cut out the commentary early in this video because Chris and Mike, they're going to walk Josh back to this cabin. And there's a lot of good commentary here, especially with Josh, who is played by Rami Malek, a pretty good actor. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the commentary here and let you guys enjoy all of this kind of final dialogue on the way back to the cabin. And then we'll pick up back in episode 8 because there is also there's no therapist section at the end of this level. So anyway guys, once again, or for the first time, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video.
A little bit of pain? Right now, I am so
Sorry! Stop it!
Jesus, dude.
Stop! Michael, I'm sorry, man. I can't tell you how sorry I am that something happened to Jessica, but I swear to you, I have no idea what happened to her.
Josh, be honest with me. Do you really expect us to trust you for a single goddamn second after all the shit you put us through?
But can't we all just get along?
Ah! Damn it!
Not dicking around.
No. That's not how it's supposed to go down. You're just a bunch of bullies. You can't hang out a guy just to try like this, guys. Huh? Not like you got the guts to really do anything about it anyways. Ah! Ah!
Oh, stuff it. You're the biggest coward there is.
Uh-huh. I did something. I made you believe in the world I created. And I showed you parts of yourself you were too afraid to visit.
You manipulated us. You tricked us. You hurt your friends, and you did it all while you hid in the shadows. You're a coward, Josh. That's all you are. Ah! Yeah! Ah! Yeah! Ah!
Okay, you time me up now, okay?
Stay still,
Right,
man.
right, still. Well, can't tie them up if they just wiggle around.
Josh, dude.
Leave me a little wiggle room, huh?
What does it take to shut you up?
Oh, not so tight, okay? Not so tight, I can't wiggle around. Those plastic ties, that's where it's...
In God's name, is he talking about?
This is hard to watch.
Hostage types.
You ever say this kind of shit before?
For at least
Oh,
3
I've never
hostages
seen him like
or
this.
your money back. Oh, and Chris, I mean, you can forget about ever getting into Ashley's little panties after that little cock-up with the whole I'm gonna shoot you in the head thing. I mean, she's better off with Mike over here anyways. At least he knows how to treat a lady.
God damn it.
And it's not shoot her in the face.
I'm gonna beat his head off.
Don't listen to him. Not worth it.
Hey, Mike. Mike.
What?
What happened with Jess, Mike?
You know what happened.
No, I don't. I got a problem, Mike. I don't remember killing Jess.
Christ.
No, I mean, like, I feel like I would remember killing her, you know? She's so soft. And she's probably got, like, a really tight bod.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Son of a bitch! Stop! Stop, dude! Chill out!
The hell you doing?
You were gonna shoot him.
I was just messing with the man. Just trying to scare him.
What?
Give him a taste of his own medicine.
Well, what the hell, man? I could have killed him.
Relax. It's fine. He'll be fine.
I didn't like doing that.
Well, now at least he's quiet. You should go back to the lodge, man.
What? Why?
I'm gonna watch him until the morning. I don't need you beating him half to death the whole time.
That's not fair. I thought I was protecting you.
Yeah, well, job well done. Take a vacation.
Well, what the hell, man?
Go back to the lodge. Now.
Dude.
Now!